What's up, everybody? Car Nutrition here, and today we're checking out Firman's T09371 electric start portable generator. This is their tri-fuel model, so we're going to get it opened up, get it put together, and check out all the features. Let's get to it. Alright, so let's get this thing opened up, see what's inside. We'll get it put together, and we'll go over some of the features that this unit has to offer. Super dry pack, keep it nice and dry. Quick start guide with also your instructions on how to put it together. So we'll keep that close by. This is nice cord it comes with. We'll go over that in a minute. GFCI protection with 4 receptacles on it. Alright, so we got some hardware, hubcaps, all-terrain wheels, all solid core, got a cord holder, got some oil fill, looks like a front stand, and some axles. And I think that's it other than the generator. So let's get this box off. Alright, so we got this thing out of the box. We're going to start putting it together. 2 other things that were inside the box that were hidden was you got a propane adapter, and you do have a cover that it comes with. So that's cool. You can keep this thing well protected. Like I said earlier, this is their tri-fuel model, so you can run this thing off gasoline, you can run it off propane, or you can run it off natural gas. The pros and cons to that is if you're running off gas, you have a starting watt of 11,600 with a running watt of 9,300. With propane, you have 10,400 watts with the running of 8,300. And with natural gas, you have a startup of 8,650 and a running watts of 6,900. So you do drop in your utilization for wattage as you change fuels. So running gas is going to give you the most output as possible, but it's cool to have that flexibility to use different fuels. So let's get beginning to put this together, and then we'll go over a few more of the other features. So as far as assembly goes, you have your 2 rear wheels, and then you have your front stop. These all have cotter pins here and a hubcap, so once it's on. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift the unit up, undo that cotter pin, get that bolt through that wheel. You're going to have a washer on one side and then a washer on the other, and then put that cotter pin in, hubcap in, and that's it. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. Cotter pin out, washers off, axle through, 1 washer on, 2nd washer on, and if I can find the hole. That's it for the rear. Let's go do the front. Alright, so here's your rubber stop front. A little more involved in the rears. This does come with nuts and bolts. I'll figure out how to get this. Lift it up. Let that sit up under there. Make sure your holes line up. thread those bolts through. You got one right on the right side of this motor mount. And there's going to be another hole right to the left of the ground here. And that's it. I'm going to get those tightened up and then we'll move on to the next. All right, so the wheels and the front support is on. Now we're going to fill this with oil. Just double check to make sure the drain plug is tight so you don't leak oil. This does not come with oil in it, but it does come with oil. Firman comes with their own 10W30. There is a notice on the pull start, depending on what size cc motor you have, how much oil it requires. This is a 37.2 fluid ounce, and we're actually a 459 cc engine, so we're going to need 40.6 fluid ounce. So I'll have to go out later and get a little more just to top this off. But for now, this will get this filled up and lubed up. Let's get this opened up. And start to fill. All right, so we're topped off. These motors do come assembled and then shipped dry, so we're not going to be starting this right away. We're going to want to let the oil, sit in and lubricate everything ahead of time, and then we'll give this a start. So in the meantime, we'll go over the rest of the features, what this thing has to offer, and hopefully this will be your next generator purchase. I do have a coupon code for Firman, so if you're looking to save a little money, I'll have that posted down in the description. Save a little money on one of these, and yeah, so let's get going over these features. All right, so going over the features on the front here, you have your propane or natural gas inlet here. And then if you are going to run propane or natural gas, you're going to want to make sure your fuel selector is turned from gas back over to LP or natural gas. And then once you do that, on the left side over here, you want to go from gas, natural gas or propane, but we'll most likely be running gas. Another cool feature about this unit, it does have a CO alert. So if you have this up against a house or anything and you're getting blowback from the exhaust too much, it will shut itself off when it notices that the CO levels are too high. Another cool feature is the electric start here. I don't have this connected right now because we're not starting it right away, but you do have a momentary switch for your starter, like an ignition, which is very cool, very handy. It does have a secondary pull, so if you did want to pull start this, here's your indicator light to see if it's running or not. You have a 20 amp fuse here. This is your main override, on or off. So once you start the engine, this will turn on all of these. It's that's your breaker, on or off for your biggers. Okay, so we have a 50 amp straight style, nice rubber boot to cover that up. 30 amp twist lock, another 30 amp twist lock, that's 120 volt, this is a 240 volt. And then we have a duplex receptacle here, GFCI protected, 20 amp. So that's the overview of the front. You have some quick start guides up here on the fuel tank, just in case you're having issues getting it going. Swing it around the left here. There's that fuel selector, your pull start. Here's your choke, and then in here is your air filter. Swing around the back here. That's going to be your carburetor. It's your, yeah. Here's your exhaust shield, everything. Your exhaust outlet here. On the back here, that's going to be your inverter. And then up top here is your fuel fill. It's a 9-gallon tank. It has a screed in there, so any sediment will stop it. You have a fuel gauge up here to see where you're at. I always recommend running non-ethanol in these. It'll just keep the carburetor from clogging up and gumming up for storing for long periods of time. Right here is your pull-out foldable handle. You can lift this up, wheel it around, get it to where you need to. And yeah, there it is in its hole. This is actually my second Firman. I had a Firman a few years ago, and then when we moved to Florida, I lost it in the hurricanes. So I had a lot of trust in it, so I went ahead with another one. So definitely well-built unit. The accessories that this comes with is pretty cool. So it does have the cover, so we'll get that on. It does come with this 25-foot extension with 4 receptacles, and it is going to be a 20 amp twist lock. That's 240, so I'm assuming it splits the phases between left and right, so you get double utility out of the cord, which is pretty cool. There's that. If you were going to hook this to a propane tank, you could literally hook this to like a barbecue sized propane tank and run this unit, but you will start running into utilization issues. You're going to lose 1,000 watts of running watts if you're going to LP, so just keep that in mind. So there it is. Check it out if you're in the market for a generator, or if you're in Florida and you get blasted with hurricanes pretty often. It's always handy to have one of these, especially one with 11,000 watts. You can run almost the whole house off this. So check them out. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and check out more stuff like this. I'll see you guys next time.